Hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today I want to talk about witchcraft being resistance and basically witchy activism and what that looks like. So I want to talk about the more less popular ways of being, at least for me in my practice, of being a witchy activist, a witch activist, I should say, not witchy. I'm going to just go over a couple different things, and hopefully this is helpful to you. So, as of late, or as of now, in the recent past, I have not gone to a protest. I've not physically been a part of a protest movement, meaning like I'm outside on foot in protest. I haven't done that. And the reason I've had to ask myself why I didn't do that, I think because there's nothing locally that I was aware of to be a part of. Just lack of knowledge, honestly, and that's one. And two, I have my thoughts on that. I understand why people do it. I know that my adult children, would not want me to do that. They would be very concerned. It would be fruitful for me. Activism is not just protesting, right? So one of the things, and I've shared this a lot here on my channel, is I know money. My money is a big tool of activism. Your money, how you spend your money. So I don't spend my money with certain industries, with certain companies. I hold my money hostage so they don't get it and they can't continue to fund things that I am very much against. So that's the first and foremost way that I am, an activist witch. That's how I practice my activism, for sure, because money makes this world seem to go around for a lot of people. So I don't spend at certain places. Okay. And I've been doing that for some time. It started with me intentionally. Hobby Lobby was the first place. And I used to go to Hobby Lobby. I would make my rounds, these tours for especially around like Christmas and fall and all that sort of stuff, for seasonal decor and my planner stuff. But I made a decision after the more I learned. I think for me, it was in 2020 with COVID and the practices of the people who own it, that I couldn't ignore it anymore. So I will not shop there. So, and then other companies since then that I don't shop. And if I have still purchased from them, it was usually because there were not many other options. It was not something, and I usually hated that I did it, and I felt really bad about it. So, and I wouldn't go back there again. So there have been lapses for certain places because I don't want to get into it, but the point is certain food places, I'm gonna just say that. And I'd like to expand that list, but that's hard in our society because we have big brand companies who buy up all the little ones, and it's only so many options. So what are you gonna do? So I do with what I can in my realm. Okay. Magic. I practice magic. I practice witchcraft. So yeah, hex the patriarchy, that type stuff. I will light a candle in solidarity to those who are fighting the good fight for their humanity to exist. I light a candle. I petition spirit to protect these people as they fight this fight and to be on their side. So yeah, I send healing energy. I send protective energy to the babies, to the children across this world, including the country I'm in, to protect them. So, and the women and all of us, just those who can't protect themselves, and that is an ongoing thing. That's an ongoing thing. I make myself aware. I don't put my head in the sand. That being educated on world events, politics, gone are the days of, oh, I don't want to get into politics. I am a Black woman. I kind of have to, first of all, I am a walking a political issue for some people. When I come in the building, politics is I bring the politics for some places that I walk into. And I'm not Christian. I am politics for a lot of people, whether I open my mouth up or not about who or what I am. So that is a very ignorant place for me to put myself in, to think that I can absolve dialogue or understanding of politics. So what I do is I become more versed. If I don't understand, I seek information because I don't know everything. There's people coming on the scene. Sometimes you need to know the backstory. I've also been educated about history in a way where I have a very shallow understanding of certain world events. So I don't know. So I've had to learn. The other thing, community, building community. That is something a young person has told me to do as well as an act of resistance specifically. So I'm talking activism. Now I'm going to get into this resistance movement. So the thing that is scary to those who mean to take away freedoms and rights is for community to be built and strong community of people who are against sitting by and letting their rights being taken away and being murdered and such. Building community, a solid community. Seriously though, that is the truest act of resistance. Not isolating myself, building and maintaining community, meaning with other witches, other practitioners, doing magical work together to bring about change and protection and healing. Yeah, that's a big act. And for some of us, especially if you're not someone who is comfortable being out as a witch and letting people know that that's what you do, that's a big deal, right? That's a really big deal to be around others who share a lot of your core beliefs around, the world, humanity, and themes of magic and spirituality and things like that. That's a big deal to have access to that. So I say that because that is a big deal. That's not like something to be taken lightly. I think that you need to start where you're at. If you don't physically have it around you, go online. I've talked about my Discord channel. Discord is an app, if you know, but it's called Leap Taken Safe Place for Witches. It is a safe place for witches. For if you wanted to organize something as far as, hey, let's do some sort of candlelight, or light basically lighting candles for a person or a thing or a cause or something like that. That's a space that you would be able to do that at and get collective energy from other practitioners. I have a coven I belong to, and we talk about this and wanting to be advocates for people who need that and causes that need that. And what does that look like? How can we do that as practitioners through family found in blood in my life as well? We are the same way on we are open and we share because we're not all in the same place or the same states or some of us maybe even the same country, and we'll share information as well so that and that's the thing about community, sharing information, so you're always kind of in the know of what's going on, because if your community is diverse, you'll have access to that information, right? And that's why community is so important. So having, utilizing resources, being a resource to others as well in the community, um, that's helpful. Me, and when I say being a resource, whether it's sharing an antidote, a magical antidote that would help you, whether it's sharing maybe even a spell or including this person in your spell to bring about, some sort of energy work into their life, whether it is protection, whether it's healing, whether it's to bring in money, prosperity, whatever it is, things like that. Like that's what community can bring for you. You being a resource to others, and eventually maybe someone being a resource to you. And that is an act of resistance because at heart, that's a very human thing to be doing, by the way. Just sharing, and being there for someone, and trusting that these people would be there for you. That's a very natural thing for a lot of humans, and I truly believe the powers that be, they don't like that. They don't want us to necessarily do that. That's why there's so much effort. If you are noticing the things that a certain group of people want to put into play, one of the policies they would like is to really emphasize on a federal level in this country for basically a real family to consist of a man, a woman, and the kids, and a woman being at home and not working outside the home. Like that's like this is really something that is potentially part of it is technically part of a lot of people in this country's mind. They think that does mean real family, but I don't care what people think per se. I care if that becomes something that is written into policy and law, that's the only kind of real family that exists. So, yeah. So, if you're building a community of all types of people and you're all helping each other and you're all sharing information with each other, that is truly against what this other agenda is. So that's why that's so important. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that for some of us out there who are watching what's happening in American politics on the national level, and unfortunately, even for me on the state level, there's some nonsense in the state that I'm in that I'm also paying attention to, let alone locally. And you're feeling as if you want to do something more, and you're like me, you may not go into the streets holding up a sign and being part of a protest movement, and you want to do your own protests and your own active resistance to this, whatever this thing is that they're trying to turn this country into. Made me think about some of the things I talked about. And please, in the comments, if you want to share other ways that how you're as a witch, as an activist, casting spells, rituals, working with your coven, choosing to spend your money only in certain places, excluding certain brands or companies that support things that are against humanity. If you have other things, let us know. I'd like to know what else everyone else might be doing as well. If there's certain type of spell work that you feel comfortable sharing, you don't have to give the details, but I mentioned lighting a candle. Do you burn certain herbs? Do you perform a certain type of ritual in mind, to kind of go against all of this? To send certain type of healing energy, just let me know in the comments, because I think, we're at a point we need to be talking about this, right? We need to be thinking about this as witches, as practitioners, as folks under the pagan umbrella. I do believe coming together kind of a little bit on one accord about this and maybe putting our energy together. We've seen other witches do this over the years. And, I've seen people kind of laugh at that and think it didn't work. And no, I think it did work in some cases, but it's subjective. It depends. I don't know all that was done, but I know at one point there was like a cult, which is at least, online, and they talked about doing certain things at the time um, against certain politicians. So I was okay with that. I was for that. So uh, if I'm more about systems at this point because they're just puppets. I feel like these politicians are puppets, and some of them are dangerous puppets, but puppets nonetheless. So I want to change the whole system, and I'd like to go to whoever's pulling the strings, not just the puppet itself. And if you're kind of on that type tip like me, if you're on that level, yeah, let me know in the comments. Go ahead and like the video and tell me what you're thinking. Also, check out my Discord channel. The link's in the description. Leave Taken Safe Place for Witches. And yeah, let's we can go over there and we can talk a little more freely. We can talk about this. We can come put our minds together and our magic abilities together and see if we come up with. So thanks again. Again, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and hit the join button to join the Leap Taken membership. Also, did you know I have a website, leaptaken.com? Go ahead and check that out as well. And yeah, there's also one more thing. I have another channel. It's called Magical Lifestyle of Cottage Witch here on YouTube. And there I share a little bit more of my actual practice as a cottage witch. If you're interested in that, go ahead and check that. Subscribe over there as well. All right, I am done. Just a little something for you to think about in the midst of the craziness that is the American politics in 2024. Maybe there's a bright spot, but we have to create it. And as witches, we know how to do that. All right, thanks again. Bye.